Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a great and wonderful day. Well, we're going to be having some interesting stuff that's happening here. Now, normally what I try to do is I try to look up for actual information that is regarding what I want to cover, and sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's not. But I have found something today, my friends, where we have somebody called Kiarra Jones who is abusing a child. Now, don't get me wrong, I hate any of this. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to blur this out or not, but regardless, it's pretty abhorrent, and I'm going to go over it with you guys today. So we have this here from Colin Rugg. Just in, which this is not just in, this was happened yesterday, so be careful here. Colorado paraprofessional Kiarra Jones arrested for assaulting children with disabilities. This makes my blood boil. Jones worked as a bus aide to help children with autism and other disabilities travel between school and their homes. Newly released footage shows Jones punching and stomping a disabled 10-year-old boy. These three families are now taking action against Jones, claiming they started noticing behavioral changes from their children in about 6 months ago. They also noticed physical injuries, including scratches, bruises, a lost tooth, broken toe, broken black eye, and other bruises. Jones was arrested on April 4th after surveillance footage showed her hitting a student in the bottom and mouth. Now, I'm going to show you guys this in a second here, but I want to go over the full actual thing. So, yeah, we have this here. It says, Colorado bus aide accused of beating 10-year-old nonverbal autistic boy. So, yes, he was autistic. In January, Jessica Verstell's 10-year-old autistic son, who cannot speak, came home from school in suburban Denver with bruises all over his body. Other injuries followed, including a black eye in February, which she said a bus aide blamed on him hitting himself with a toy, and a bruised foot in March. It wasn't until Vestel asked to review the bus surveillance video last month, which she made public Tuesday, that she learned the bus aide was abusing her son. The aide, Kiarra Jones, 28, has been charged with one count of third-degree assault on an at-risk person, according to court records. She was released from jail shortly after her arrest, but did not return a telephone call seeking comment at the number listed for her. She has been represented by lawyers from the Public Defender's Office, which does not comment to the media on cases. And in an April 5th letter to parents, Littleton Public Schools Superintendent Todd Lambert said Jones was terminated after her arrest. This kind of behavior cannot be and is not tolerated. As parents, you trust us with the well-being of your children, and you should never have to worry about them being harmed when they are in our care. The district on Tuesday did not respond to requests to comment on allegations made by Vestel, her lawyers, and other parents that the district failed to investigate was behind the unexplained injuries suffered by their children. They are considering a lawsuit against the school district since learning what happened to Vestel's son. Brittany Yarborough now believes Jones is also responsible for injuries her 11-year-old nonverbal son received on the same bus. In a statement, police in Englewood, Colorado said they found that more than one autistic student was abused and are continuing to review an extensive amount of video and other evidence to make sure all the victims are identified. Vestel said she could only watch about 2 minutes of her son getting elbowed, punched, and hit, but wanted to release the footage because she suspects this is happening to other children without anyone knowing. You can see how awful it is without looking at it, she said. Well, I agree, and I'm going to put a little bit of point into here after we watch this video, because I want people to see and understand my point, what's going on when you guys see this actual video here. I'm going to obviously blow this up a bit. For people that are not watching right now, this is a video that is just showing her, like, hitting him and punching him in the face. And, yeah, this is probably typical.
I feel like I should.
Now, I know some people will probably make this also a race issue as well. The reason why I was saying silent for most of the video, because there's not really much to comment on in the video and per se, because obviously there's not much I can really say. She's obviously just abusing the child, hitting him, punching him, stomping on his foot, punching him, elbowing him, and stuff like that. So we see this being a consistent thing here with the actual article. Now, I'm going to address I want to explain some things here that is going on. I think that a lot of people need to be way more aware and careful of their children when it comes down to people hitting them or what have you. After going through, obviously the CPS and all these other child protective services, it's whatever. I never actually thought them as child protective services. I always found it as child abusive services because a lot of children that usually go through this are not the things that happen beforehand. I'm talking about like within CPS where there is children being abused, sexually abused, etc., and it's not really good. And I think the whole part of CPS needs to be completely revoked or completely destroyed and then made to something else, because CPS is not really a good place at all for kids to go to. I think it's more traumatizing and worse for them, and let's not even talk about the actual amount of horrible foster homes that end up abusing children. So this is the case here. And whenever somebody is saying, if your kid's being abused or you see injuries or whatever, always show the actual bus camera or whatever your child is at. I would never, ever, ever in my life, if I had a child, to where if they were raising kids, if I had kids in my home, that I would not have cameras. I would have cameras in every single place of the home, and that is just reality, because I am not going to consent or deal with somebody abusing my child, because I want to know, and I will be recording and reviewing the footage of that happening in my child, and I'll be making sure and teaching my child to tell me these things. But obviously this kid's autistic and he's unable to speak, so obviously he can't really communicate that with me. But always view camera or footage of what's going in your home and what's going on in your child's lives, because again, these things can't be prevented. People just need to be more aware and careful of their children. I don't really want people taking care of my children, alright? That's just plain and simple. And I understand that single mothers can't actually be able to do this, but here's the main reason why I think that single mothers are a detriment to society, mostly because when you have single mothers, or mothers that are constantly working, this leads to this. In most cases, we would have mothers raising their own children or whatever while the father goes out and get resources and, does stuff like that. I know this is an old way of thinking, but this is just a way to prevent incidents like this from happening. Obviously, you should be feeling safe that somebody's watching your child, that they're not going to mercilessly beat them, alright? I understand that. However, if we have women taking care of children more often, and that doesn't mean they have to be stay-at-home moms, right? They don't have to necessarily be stay-at-home moms, but if they take a little bit less time off of work, be able to pick up children from schools, or actually educate their children, like homeschool them, which would be even significantly better, and not having to have people take care of their children, like having a babysitter, which is way more expensive than anything, then this is a better way to go about it, because your children are safe, your children are in with the same place, the mother gets to tend to her actual motherly duties and stuff like that. And I would never prevent somebody or my significant other from getting an actual job or wanting to do what they want. But there has to be some things on the table, like we have to understand and come to meetings here. Okay, well, if we're going to have kids, then we need to come to a consensus here of what's best for the child. And I personally think that a mother being home most of the time for the children, or what have you, is the best way possible to raise a very good and healthy child. And then, obviously, as they get older and stuff like that, maybe we're going to consider, more time, whatever. But I think that is the best way to do this, because that way your kids are in a safe environment and you don't have to worry about, other things that are happening to your child. I hate that this is happening, and I hate that this video is showing this, and I understand that this video is going a bit long, but I want people to understand here that this is just something that happens, and a lot of this was prevented other than, people coming and pillaging and killing people during those dark days where kids just were raised correctly. And this is just another dark day about it. But that was my rant. This is my opinions on the matter. I think this is absolutely abhorrent. But there are ways where we can avoid this problem if we just went back to a little bit more ways of raising our kids. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Let's go share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted. Cause it's algorithmic disease, the social media.